What is going on, everybody? And this video is going to be my pre-E3 2015 discussion video where I'm going to be talking about each of the conferences individually and what I'm interested in each of the conferences. Now, I have no idea how long this video is going to be. I'm willing to bet it's going to be pretty long, but I will definitely be putting timestamps in the description in case you only want to watch certain conferences and what you might be interested in, but the timestamps will be in the description. So, alright, hope you enjoy the video. Alright, let's talk about Sony's E3. Now, what does Sony need to do to have a successful E3? Well, in my opinion, basically all they have to do is copy what they did at the PlayStation experience last year. Show a bunch of games, show core developer support for your games coming out, and then basically just not screw up, basically. Because that's really one of the major reasons why Sony is ahead right now. It's because they didn't really make any major screw-ups, in my opinion. Now, what I would also like to see from them, for me personally, is I would like to see them show some actual core support to the PlayStation Vita. Now, in my opinion, the PlayStation Vita is a very, very underrated handheld. I like it better than my 3DS. But it's just a shame to see Sony show no support whatsoever for the Vita. And that's one of the major reasons why the Vita isn't that successful. What also is a reason why the Vita isn't successful is because of the price. The price of the actual handheld and the price of the memory cards you have to use. They are very expensive, so hopefully at E3 Sony will announce that the Vita, the actual handheld itself, and the memory cards will be getting price drops. I don't know what else they have to lose at this point, because the handheld's 3 years old now. And I don't know how much longer it will be around before people just give up on it, which would be a real shame to see. So what do you really have to lose, Sony? Just do price drops and see if that will actually increase sales. You don't really have nothing to lose at this point. So let's get into the games. The games that Sony will probably be showing at E3 that I'm interested in. Of course, let's start out with the biggest one, Uncharted 4. Can't wait to see more footage of Uncharted 4. I don't want them to I don't want them to show too much, but I definitely want to see some more interaction with Nathan and his brother. So that would be some cool teaser footage right there. And just, yeah, I want to see more Uncharted 4 footage, and I think we'll be seeing that. Can't wait. I also want to see more on the game Drawn to Death. Now, if any of you remember, the PlayStation experience showed off this game called Drawn to Death, which looked like an arena-based shooter, third-person shooter, but the art style's on hand-drawn. It looked really cool and really unique, and I want to see more of this game. I don't know what it is about it. It's mostly because the art style has me hooked into it. I want to see more of this game, and hopefully we see more. I think what they're also going to show is, or at least I hope they show some footage of the God of War 3 remaster. Now, God of War 3 is my favorite game out of the whole series. Now, I haven't played the whole series yet. I still haven't played Ascension and one of the PSP games. But I have played 1 and 2. And in my opinion, God of War 3 is the best in the series so far. So I'm actually kind of happy that they're remastering it, because there were a lot of people that last gen were on the 360 that didn't have a PS3, but now they have a PS4. They never got to play God of War 3, and this is a good chance for them to play God of War 3. And honestly, I see God of War 3 Remastered as a prelude to the eventual God of War 4 announcement. And who knows? Maybe we might get that announcement at E3. Because I made a video about this when they first announced this remaster. Sony, to me, seems like they really want to make God of War 4. Because they made Ascension, which was a prequel. And they made one of the PSP games. I think one of the PSP games came after. Yeah, I could be wrong. I don't know. Forget I said that. But to me, it's obvious they want to make God of War 4. So maybe this remaster is a prelude to that. We will see. I also want to see more footage of the new Ratchet and Clank game. Now, unfortunately, this got leaked a few days ago, but I don't care. I am super stoked about the new Ratchet and Clank game. I've been a pretty big fan of the series, even though there are still some of the games I have not played yet. I haven't played the 2 games on PS3, but I've been a fan of the series. I love 3D platformers. I've been a big 3D platformer fan growing up my whole life, and I'm really, really excited to see Ratchet and Clank on the PS4. Now, unfortunately, it's going to come out next year. I was hoping it would come out this year, but it is coming out in 2016. That is confirmed. But regardless, I want to see more footage of this game, and hopefully we get to see that. Alright, and I definitely think we will be seeing some footage of Street Fighter V. Now, Street Fighter V caused a lot of controversy because it is going to be exclusive to the PlayStation 4. Now, a lot of people aren't happy about that. And I can understand why. You got Xbox players that won't be able to play Street Fighter V. But when you think about it, if it's true that Sony actually put forth funding for Street Fighter V, then it makes sense why it's exclusive. It's kind of like the Nintendo Bayonetta 2 situation, where Nintendo actually put funding into Bayonetta 2, and that's why it's exclusive to Nintendo. So, if that's true, then it makes sense why Street Fighter V is exclusive. And even though I'm not a huge Street Fighter fan, I'm more of a Mortal Kombat guy, I don't hate the series, and I'm actually interested to see how this new Street Fighter will turn out, because it's been a very, very long time since we've seen a new Street Fighter game. We've been playing Street Fighter 4 since 2008, and they've rehashed Street Fighter 4 several times since then. Hell, a month ago, another version of Street Fighter 4 came out for PS4. So, needless to say, we've been due for a actual new Street Fighter game. And I definitely am interested to see footage of this. And last, we have this game, Until Dawn. This game is a survival horror game that they showed off at, I think they showed it off at the PlayStation Experience, and I'm very intrigued by this game. I'm a big fan of survival horror games, and we definitely need more pure survival horror games out there. So this is definitely welcoming, and I definitely want to see more footage of this game. Alrighty, now let's talk about Microsoft's E3 conference. And Microsoft is getting a lot of momentum from a lot of fans. A lot of people seem to think that this will be Microsoft's time to shine, and I definitely see why. They have a lot of potential here to really knock it out of the park. Now, what do they need to do to reach that potential? They need to show games, 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 and more games, and most of these games have to be legitimately exclusive to their brand, because that is the one major problem that Microsoft has, is that they have little actual number of exclusives to their console, because most of their quote-unquote exclusives is also available on the PC. Now, I can understand why some are available on the PC, because Microsoft has a close relationship with PCs, but at the same time, most people will look at that and go, well, why don't I just get a gaming PC? I will get most of the exclusives on Xbox, and I get my own PC exclusives. That's always been hurting Microsoft. So hopefully they announce a ton of games, and most of those games are actually exclusive to the console, because in order to get people to buy your console, you have to have exclusives. Actual exclusives that people are interested in. And there's no bigger exclusive, in my opinion, that Microsoft... Excuse me. God. Yeah, I'm going to leave that in. Anyway, there's no bigger exclusive that Microsoft has right now that people are really psyched to see, and that is a new Gears of War. I definitely want to see a new Gears of War on next gen. I want to see some gameplay. I want to see what the story might be. I want to see what characters are going to be in it. There are so many possibilities they could have with this game that it's intriguing. And I definitely hope this moment that they have right here is the time to show this game off. There is no bigger moment than right here this E3 for Microsoft to show off a new Gears of War. They also could show off, I guess I know they're not doing a collection, but I think they're remastering Gears of War 1. So who knows, maybe they'll show that as well. I definitely probably wouldn't mind picking that up, because Gears of War 1 will always hold a special place in my heart as the first game I ever played on last gen. The first game of the last gen I ever played was Gears of War 1. It was my first 360 game and the first game from last gen I ever played. So it holds a special place in my heart. It really does. So I'm interested to see what that remastered version is going to look like. What I'm also interested to see is Halo 5. Because I'm a pretty big Halo fan. Although I'll admit, I'm kind of wary how it might launch after the whole Master Chief Collection debacle. And even though I understand that 343 was not completely involved in the collection, I'm still worried nonetheless. So I might not get Halo 5 on launch, but I might wait a few weeks to see how the servers are running, how the game's performing, see if there's any major issues. Because I would hate to buy the game on launch and then there's major issues. That would really suck. But yeah, I'm definitely interested to see more Halo 5 footage, some multiplayer footage, and I'm interested to see how the story's going to be. I'm interested to see where the story can actually go from here in the Halo universe. Hopefully the story has co-op, because that's the most fun thing about the Halo campaigns is that you could do co-op. 4-player co-op too. So, yeah, I'm interested in that. What I'm also interested in, kind of vaguely, is Fable Legends. Fable series for me is kind of like back and forth. I thought the first game was pretty good. I loved Fable 2. I thought Fable 2 was a really good game. Despite its flaws, I played the hell out of Fable 2. I loved that game to death. Fable 3 is the definition of meh. It is the definition of a meh game. It's not overtly bad, but it's not overly good either. It's just meh. At least that's how I see it. And then of course you had that Fable Connect game, which was not that great. It wasn't the worst Connect game, but I had a hard time with it. So hopefully Fable Legends actually turns out to be a decent game. It looked pretty cool when I first saw footage of it. And what was really cool about the game is that you have players playing as the 4 heroes, but then you also have a player controlling the enemies as well. So that could be pretty intriguing. I definitely want to see more footage of that. And of course, last but certainly not least, we have Rise of the Tomb Raider. Once again, another game that has caused major controversy by being exclusive to the Xbox One. Now, the difference here is that this is a timed exclusive. How long is it a timed exclusive? I would have to guess a year. And I will give you an example. What was it? BioShock 1 came out in August of 2007 on the Xbox 360 and the PC. A year later, August of 2008, it came out on the PlayStation 3. So that was a year of timed exclusivity it had for Microsoft. Or it could be half a year or 6 months. Yeah, 6 months, half a year. I'm an idiot. Because Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare initially only came out on Xbox One and 360, and then a few months ago, it came out on PlayStation 4 and PS3. So maybe it will only be a few months. But I'm willing to bet it will be a year, because Microsoft is going to try and use this game to get people to buy an Xbox One. And for good reason, because the last Tomb Raider game was awesome. The last Tomb Raider game was freaking amazing. The only problem with the last Tomb Raider is that it had very little replayability once you 100% the game, and it's tacked on horrible, horrible multiplayer. Other than that, it was a very amazing game. I bought it twice, first on the 360, and then I bought the definitive edition on the PS4. Yeah, you can go ahead and laugh at me if you want, but I loved the game that much. I thought the game was tremendous. So, hopefully we see more footage of this game, which I think we will, because this is a very important game for Microsoft, and I'm definitely interested in the story of this game. How much longer does it take place after the last game? Like, where does it fit in the timeline? It's all really interesting. I can't wait to see this game. Also, what Microsoft really needs to do and this will be a pretty big bombshell on their part if they do this. If they come out, honest to God, if they come out and they show off a new Rare game or another sequel to a Rare franchise, and they actually show that they're going to have Rare actually make quality games again, because for so long Rare has been stuck in Kinect hell, that would be pretty big. I will flip my shit, honest to God, if they show off an actual sequel to the Banjo-Kazooie franchise. That would be freaking amazing. And it's not just Banjo-Kazooie. Maybe they might announce a new Perfect Dark. Or I could go on with the list of Rare franchises that Microsoft could announce a new... Apparently, people think there's going to be a new Battletoads game because Phil Spencer has been wearing a Battletoads shirt at some events. I don't know, that's kind of a stretch because Battletoads hasn't been relevant in so freaking long. I don't know how many people would be interested in a new Battletoads game. But if they do that, that is a pretty big bombshell on Microsoft's part if they actually come out and show off Rare games. That will be pretty big. And it will also show how the right decision to put Phil Spencer in charge of the Xbox brand was probably the smartest decision Microsoft has made in a long time. I've always liked Phil Spencer, and ever since he's been put in charge, there's been a wave of positivity at the Microsoft and Xbox brand. And hopefully this trend continues. I'm hoping for the best. Microsoft has a lot of potential at this E3, and I hope they reach that potential. I really do. Alright, let's move on to Nintendo. Nintendo, for me, personally, you only have to do two things. You only have to do two things. Show off more footage of the new Legend of Zelda. Now, they said that the new Legend of Zelda is not their priority, which is probably one of the biggest head scratchers I can think of in a long time. Your number one franchise, the franchise that could potentially system sell the Wii U, and that's not your number one priority? It's like, wow, okay. Even if the game is not coming out anytime soon. Because a part of me inside, my gut is telling me that this might actually be a launch title for the new Nintendo console, since the Wii U has not been successful. I still would like to see more footage of the game. Even if it's not coming anytime soon, just show me some footage to whet my appetite. Just do that, please. Please do that. And the second thing that I really would like you to do, Nintendo, I hope you do this, you better not troll me and everyone else this time, is show off a new Star Fox game. Now, unfortunately, they're probably going to call it Star Fox U or Star Fox Wii U, which is going to be pretty terrible, but there's nothing we can do about that. If Nintendo shows off a new Star Fox game, and I'm talking about a legitimate Star Fox game, not Star Fox Adventures 2 or that kind of spin-off crap. Show a legitimate new Star Fox game with R-Wings, Landmaster, that submarine that I don't remember what it's called, but it's the damn submarine with all the different planets. Hopefully, bring back the same planets if you want to. I just want an actual normal Star Fox game for the Wii U. And if they do that, I will be one happy, happy person. So hopefully, that will be their big bombshell this E3. And hopefully, they do not troll us again like they did last time. Because last year at E3, when they trolled Star Fox, I was not very happy about that. It legitimately pissed me off. So Nintendo, don't do it again this year. You don't want to piss people off even more. You really, really don't. Now, other than that, there's not much else I'm interested in from Nintendo. I would definitely like to see new IPs. More new IPs. Like, who knows, maybe they might make a new Metroid game. That'd be great. But Nintendo needs to start churning out more new IPs. Now, they're never going to get third-party support ever again. That ship has sailed. So, in order to fill the void of the third-party games and the drought that the Wii U and Nintendo has. They need to be churning out games themselves. So it should give a reason for people to go buy the Wii U. Because even if it doesn't have third-party support, if it has enough exclusive games that people are interested in, then that would still sell the system. Now, I have a Wii U right now. And to be fair, I didn't outright buy it myself. It was mostly a birthday gift. There isn't much out there I really want to play that's on it right now. I've been playing the hell out of Donkey Kong 64, which was one of the main reasons I got it, because they finally released Donkey Kong 64 on the Virtual Console, which I've been wanting them to do for so goddamn long now. I mean, really all the other games I'm interested in is Donkey Kong, Country Returns, Tropical Freeze, and Mario Kart. Other than that, there's not much else I'm interested in. So, Nintendo, it'd be nice if you churned out some more new IPs that I might be interested in, and it would be overall beneficial to your company. Hopefully you do that this E3, because you have the potential to announce Star Fox, you have the potential to show off more Zelda footage. You have potential here, Nintendo, and I would like to see you achieve that. I really would. So, hopefully you do that. Hopefully. Please. Oh, I just remembered. The one more thing Nintendo could do that would actually make me happy. If they actually add in features to the Wii U, that would be pretty big. You know, adding in features that have been in last gen consoles, and actually even farther than that back in the day. Like cross-game party chat, and most of the games having just voice chat in general. That'd be great. If they announce that they will be adding in these kind of features to the Wii U, how about maybe adding some customization options to the Wii U, like changing the backgrounds and stuff like that, you know, the stuff that the other consoles do? That would be pretty cool as well. Hopefully they do that. And you know, honestly, I'm not a programmer, I'm not a developer, but it shouldn't really be that hard to add in something as simple as cross-game party chat, especially since the 360 could do it. And we have Skype and all these other apps that let you talk to people online. Not to mention the Wii U has a built-in video chat. It shouldn't be that hard for them to do it, so hopefully they announce it. It's kind of wishful thinking in my opinion, but hopefully they announce it. That would make me really happy, and would make a lot of people happy. Because there's a lot of games on the Wii U that would benefit from voice chat. And even if the games don't have voice chat inside of them, like actually in the game itself, at least have cross-game party chat where people can still chat with their friends. Because, you know, Nintendo, it's actually kind of cool that people get to talk to each other online and have fun. You know, communicate. Not just that, but playing multiplayer and communicating with your team, you know, that'd be kind of cool. You know, something that probably Splatoon should have had. You know, something like that. You know, it's just a thought. It's just a thought. Just keep that in mind. So, you know, I hope they do it. That'd be really cool to see. Alright, it is now time to talk about the Bethesda conference. Yes, that is right. Bethesda is having their own conference at E3, and you know what that means? It means they got a lot of stuff to show for us, which is very exciting. And the one thing I definitely want to see more of at their conference is more Fallout 4. When Fallout 4 was announced, I think it was last week, it was amazing. That was awesome. People have been wanting a Fallout 4 announcement for quite a long time now, and it's finally happening. I've been a pretty big Fallout fan. Well, not of all the games. I've not played the early games. I started with Fallout 3, and I played Fallout New Vegas, and I loved the hell out of both of those games. So, Fallout 4 is something I'm definitely interested in, and I want to see more footage of it. I'm actually interested to know where it's actually taking place, because from the trailer, it looked like it could potentially be taking place in different cities, because all the areas look kind of different. I don't know, I'd be interested in that, because one of the main reasons I loved Fallout 3 was because it was basically stationed in my home state of Maryland. Actually, the funny thing is that Bethesda's headquarters is actually only like 40 miles from my house here. So it was pretty cool to see my home state actually represented in a video game. I really thought that was cool. And it's just everything I loved about the game. I loved it was open world, post-apocalyptic, and it was very addicting. I'm usually addicted to open world games, so I definitely want to see more of that. And I'm hoping that we get a October, November 2015 release date. And I think it's going to happen because they first announced Fallout 3 in early 2008, and they first showed off Fallout 3 at Microsoft's E3 in 2008, and then it came out in late 2008. So hopefully we see the same thing here. Now, what also Bethesda could show, or what they could also show, and I don't know if they are going to show it, is Dishonored 2. I would definitely like to see a sequel to Dishonored. I thought Dishonored was actually a pretty decent game. Although it did have its flaws, there was potential for a good series there. Now, if they improve on those flaws with a Dishonored 2, this would be a really good game. Hopefully Bethesda is going to show that. And I have a feeling they might do that because they have their own conference. You don't have your own conference unless you have a ton of stuff to show. And there's not really much else coming out of Bethesda that's been reported on. So, hopefully we get that. And last but not least, hopefully we finally see some new Doom footage. Doom is a very, very historic franchise in gaming. It was one of the first-person shooters that people played. And people still play that game to this day. And they played all the games. When Wolfenstein The New Order came out last year, there was something said on the box that you would get a code for a beta to the new Doom game. And we've not heard jack shit since then. Nothing. Squat about this new Doom game. So this is the time and place for Bethesda to show off this game. And I hope they do. Because it'd be interesting to see how a Doom game would work with today's technology. Now, it could also potentially not work out as well because we've seen other previous first-person shooter franchises that were good on older systems, but it didn't translate well to newer consoles, like the GoldenEye game that came out back in 2010. Because there's a lot more competition today than there was back when the original Doom came out. There's a lot more first-person shooter games out today. Today, there's probably more first-person shooters than any other genre today. So, I don't know, it could go either way, but I definitely am interested in seeing this game. So, hopefully Bethesda will show it off, and I think they will. Alrighty, last but not least, we will be talking about Square Enix's conference. Yes, Square Enix is having their own conference, and that makes me particularly excited because I'm a huge RPG fan, and Square Enix having their own conference means they have a lot of stuff coming out, and that gets me really excited. But, Square Enix, I'm talking to you directly, Square Enix. This is the time and place that you finally need to show Kingdom Hearts 3. I have been waiting for so goddamn long for this game, it's not even funny. It's been 10 years. 10 years. 10 long years since Kingdom Hearts 2. And a few years ago, you first showed off Kingdom Hearts 3 footage, and it looked really cool. But we've had nothing since then. I understand it was still in development, but we definitely are in need of some more footage, and this is the time and place to announce huge Kingdom Hearts 3 news. I hope you do it, Square Enix. I don't know why I'm being optimistic about it, because Square Enix has been known to troll about this kind of stuff. Square Enix, please do it. There's no better time and place than right now, E3 2015. Please do it. Please do it. For my sake and all the other fans of Kingdom Hearts. Please do it. Okay. I also hope they show off some more footage of Final Fantasy 15. Now, I never played the demo of Final Fantasy 15 because I never bought that Final Fantasy Type O game that came out a few months ago. And because I wasn't really interested in that game, and I am not buying a $60 game for a goddamn demo. That is not happening. But I did watch other people play the demo, and it looked really cool. It was open world, or at least it looked open world, and the combat system looked cool. The graphics looked really good. It just looks like a fun game that I'm interested in. It looks like it will wash the bad taste of Final Fantasy 13 out of my mouth. Because I'm trying to forget those games even exist, but they unfortunately do. Hopefully Final Fantasy 15 will bring prestige back to this brand, this once legendary brand that has produced some of the best RPGs of all time. Final Fantasy 15 has that potential, and I hope Square Enix shows more footage of the game. Hopefully they also show an actual release date of the game, which, you know what, who am I kidding? Square Enix has not been known to do concrete release dates. They've been known to troll for release dates, so what am I thinking? They're not going to do that. So hopefully they at least show footage of the game. Hopefully that happens. I also hope they show off something of the new Star Ocean game. And this is actually not for me. This is for my grandmother, which some of you know, my grandmother actually plays video games. She only plays RPGs. And she's a big fan of the Star Ocean series. Now, I never have played the series, so I can't really speak on the series myself, but she really loves the series. Hopefully they show something about the new Star Ocean game that they announced a few months ago, because she definitely wants to know some more information about that game. So hopefully they do that. And last but not least, I want to see more footage of the new Deus Ex game. Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Now, I loved the last Deus Ex game, Deus Ex Human Revolution. Now, even though I got screwed in the end out of some achievements, in my opinion, that didn't change the fact that I thought the game was a really good game. And hopefully we see more footage of this new Deus Ex game. Alright, now I just want to provide some final thoughts here before I end this video. Some final thoughts on E3 2015. Usually every year I am very excited for E3, because this is when all the big gaming announcements happen, and they show off all the new games that we hear about. This is probably one of the most exciting times every year in gaming. But this year in particular has me more excited than normal. Because there has never been a time at any other E3, at least the ones I can think of, that I looked at every single conference that's going to be at the event, and I'm genuinely interested and excited for all of them. It's been quite a long time since I've had that thought. So E3 2015, in my opinion, has the potential to go down to be one of the best E3s of all time. Each conference has the potential to knock it out of the park and make us all excited about each respective company. And I don't know about you guys, but the future of gaming does indeed look bright. And I hope E3 2015 will show that even more. So, alright. That was about it. Very long video, and hope you enjoyed watching it. If you watched the whole thing, please let me know what you think about each conference and E3 2015 overall. So, alright, I will talk to you all later. Have a good one, and happy E3.